How are we, lads? ProEnzo, Vidz, DJ MOXLEY. Alright, we're just walking in now for the Dragons and the Bulldogs come back. The atmosphere! The crowd is electric! Computer is not fucking working.
We're live, Carl.
We're live.
Nick, we're live.
We're live.
We're live, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast. Look, it's a great omen for Manly this weekend. Nick from Australia is absolutely rattled. He's stuck on mute. CJ's run away, but Lorenzo is here. Manly's going to win. Lorenzo, how are you, brother?
Going well, mate. Going well. I think the way Nick is at the moment is going to be how the Cowboys are on Saturday. So it's already an early preview, as we can probably tell. So
this reminds me of last year. You had a good start. You had a nice little lead early on, and then you ended up blowing a 14-point lead with about 6 minutes to go. So it's going to be the same story on Wednesday night.
It's like you've just played it
No, it's
I'm getting 2021.
No. But look, guys, welcome to the podcast. I don't even know if the intro even played. My computer was that fucked up in the head. I have no idea what's going on. CJ is coming. I think he's having sort of technical difficulties. We'll get him in just a moment. But welcome to episode 94 of the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast. Big show tonight. We've got ProEnzo and CJ on as always. And we need to introduce him. He doesn't need much of an introduction, but ladies and gentlemen, he is the head of the YouTube community. Ladies and gentlemen, with the disgusting 13+ crap on him right now, Paddy G. Paddy, good to have you on the podcast.
Good to be back, boys. As always, Breakdown Podcast. Where else would you want to be? We've moved the time because we've got to celebrate New South Wales' great Origin win. And let's get straight into doing what we do best, boys, and that's talking rugby league.
Dribbling BS.
Good to have you on the show, bro. CJ, Lorenzo, how are you, boys?
Yeah, they're going well. I'm going pretty well, actually. Looking forward to tonight's podcast. Big show ahead, and also a big weekend coming up where I'll be seeing everyone here. So I'm very excited.
CJ,
I'll
be seeing you tomorrow.
I'll see you in 20 hours. Yeah, I'm doing good, bro.
20 hours. I'm not going to reveal if I'm going to be in Sydney in the morning, at midday, or at night time. I ain't telling no one nothing. But it's going to be a fantastic weekend. Fantastic weekend. Obviously, a big event this weekend, Manly versus Cowboys. First time at Brookie. Looking forward to it. And then on Sunday, we're going to be at Combank for the Eels versus the Titans. Good weekend ahead to look forward to. Hopefully, the Cowboys can make it 5 wins in a row.
I don't think so.
Another Cowboys ambush at Brookie.
Are we live or are you still making jokes in the green room?
No, we're still live, bro. We're 3 minutes and a half, almost 4 minutes in. But hey, I wouldn't know. My computer's that messed up. I would not know.
You just rattled.
I did my tax return today. I should go get a new fucking laptop on my tax. Fuck this.
Might as well.
New computer.
Good. Shoot.
Anyway, hello to the chat. Hello to Zane, Devils_side, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, Jason, Metal Panther, William Pearson. Who else is here? SS Storm fan, Rishi, Farank. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but hello, mates. Adjourn, Aaron, everyone that's rocking up. Hope you're all doing well on this very nice Wednesday night, or Thursday night, I should say. Fuck, man, I'm getting my days all over the place here. Thursday night, July 13, 2023, episode 94 of the podcast, only 6 away from 100. Wow. Episode 100 is going to be huge. It's going to be a big event in episode 100, boys.
Huge. Get the vodka, get all the beers out. It's fun to celebrate.
Yeah, the alcohol will be definitely...
Especially for us that can go in there with a real idea and actually buy it.
Yeah, big day, I'll tell you that much.
Maybe
Get the
you could just
suits
like
on, boys.
you could pour yourself like a drink of juice, but it's actually alcohol, and you just pretend it's juice, but it's not. Something else.
Well, I know the
You
taste
just mix
already,
it.
so may as well just go along with it.
Yeah. Oh well. The
Lorenzo looks
King
like
bought
he's
you a beer.
anyway.
The King bought you a beer at Penrith last year, remember? So,
Yeah,
You just
him and Hazy,
exposed the
him and
king on
Hazy.
air.
mate, the King can do what he wants because he's the King.
That's
Anyway,
right.
let's get into
That's
the
right.
show.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Charles, yes, the King of England.
Let's get into it. Topic number 5. We're going to start off with the obvious number 1 topic in the game right now. Obviously, last night we talked a bit about the Origin, the Origin wrap up from last night. New South Wales finally getting a fucking win. What was it? 24 points to 10. New South Wales. Everyone criticised them for the team. I was one of the ones that actually liked the team. I liked the selection. Some of them were weird, but they worked out. Paddy, mate, what'd you make of the Blues last night? Very impressive, or what?
I'm gonna obviously celebrate the win. Thank God it wasn't a sweep. But I don't want to read into this game too much. If you watch that game in a vacuum, I think we could all probably guess that it was a dead rubber. Queensland were also way off. There's a few guys who it's hard to criticize their performance in game 3 for Queensland because of how good they were in the first 2 games. In saying that, the New South Wales Blues, we're just going to end up with more questions going into next year, but at least they're good questions. Cody Walker was an absolute freak.
Yeah.
People have been saying we found our Munster. I wouldn't go quite that far yet because it was only a dead rubber. But if he's doing this next year, then he has to be their game 1. Bradman Best was a shining light. Stephen Crichton's been a shining light in this series too. Again, it'll be interesting. James Tedesco is his best Origin game, I think, since probably 2021, you could argue. Saying that, I don't want to read into this too much. Look, I think next year, outside of a certain few positions, I think it's a clean slate. Thank God we didn't get swept, but at the end of the day, we still were fairly beaten in what was a pretty dominant series for Queensland.
What did you think of the game, CJ?
Yeah, just glad we didn't get swept either. Something to salvage out of Origin. So the Blues haven't lost a game when Bradman Best is starting, so I think he's a lock for next year. In all seriousness, I was just happy to see the boys get up for it, for the state pride and put a jersey. Although we didn't win the series, they showed a lot of effort to not get swept, and it was just relieving. Players like Cody Walker, which is great. He won player of the match last night. I thought Josh Adokar also, I think he keeps his spot next year personally. I thought last night, great performance. Tedesco was good. Just everyone was playing with pride. It was just good to see. And hopefully we carry that on and take it into next year.
What about you, Lorenzo?
Yeah, look, it was a good win. I think the main thing was we didn't get swept. I think that was the worry for, I guess, myself, as I thought that, Queensland being 2-0 already, that they would go that extra step and go 3-0 to be a clean sweep. But thankfully it didn't happen. Good to see guys like Cody Walker really stand up and, have a redemption back in Origin, like make his way back there after 3 years. Bradman Best today was awesome. A lot of our forwards aimed up, like having Jake there was huge. Campbell Gillard was good, and Sai Fidi all did their job as new additions to the pack. But overall, the team played well, and I think that's a positive, and I think that's enough to keep Freddie for now, even though I'm not 100% sold on him. But it's enough, I'd say, to keep him. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I've got a few questions about that, and I'll get to it in a moment. Just quickly, I thought a few players deserve game 1 next year, and it's going to be hard to say no to a few others. Stephen Crichton did nothing wrong. He's probably our best player out of the 3 games. He has to be in the back line next year. I don't care where he is. He needs to be in the team. Bradman Best did nothing wrong. He had a great debut, but I think he gets replaced, to be completely honest. It's obvious that Cody Walker is better than Jerome Luai, and it's obvious that Cody Walker deserves the spot over Jerome Luai. But, hey, Cody Walker's getting old. He's like 33 years old. And Luai, I don't know if they want to go that Luai-Cleary combo again because it hasn't worked the last 2 seasons. And last little thing I want to say, and this is going to sound really harsh, but I do not give a shit. Isaiah Yeo has lost his Origin jersey. He should not be in the team at all next year. See you later, Isaiah Yeo. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Now,
boys,
boys, on Freddie, I know we probably think he gets sacked, but I'm getting this weird feeling he might even get game 1 next year. Do you think Freddie deserves one last series, do or die, or should he just walk out the door now?
Look, I have questioned Freddie for quite a while based on these team selections. Like, I think he's made a lot of changes that don't add up to me, don't make any sense. So I am a bit cautious with giving Freddie another chance, but I think that win last night was important for many reasons. Winning at home and avoiding a clean sweep, I think that's enough for Freddie to keep his job for next year. But I'd say, if we do start the series bad and, if this year is a bit like next year, then he obviously gets sacked. But, even if we won even since the win last night, he may not even be that safe, still. But I think he is for now.
You think he's all right? Fuck. Paddy?
I've made a few videos now back on Freddie, so if you've seen them, I'll try not to repeat anything I've said there. If it was my decision, I think it's time for a change. Winning 3 of 6 Origin series isn't that bad in a vacuum, but the circumstances around it, I think, have been pretty poor. I mean, we've already seen Bedsy, Brandy, they're bragging about the Bradman Best decision. It took them 3 games to get these decisions right, and it's been a common theme. For every Bradman Best there's been a Katoni Staggs, a Hudson Young. We've burnt through so many players. If it was me personally, I'd say we start again. I think that win earns him 1 more year, but even if Freddie's there for another year, this whole, I don't know whether this director thing works or not, but there's got to be a complete overhaul in how we select the side. Like game 1, we went at utility. Game 2, we went 2 hookers. And then game 3, we're like, we'll do both. Queensland know how they're going to play, and Billy Slater picks that team, whereas we just basically pick players and hope they work well together. So there's got to be a change around that. As for the side next year, I guess we'll wait and see. There's a lot of footy until then. And anything can happen. There's a good chance Campbell Graham plays, and what's he? At the moment, we're saying he's behind Tommy, Latrell, Bradman Best, Matt Burton, Stephen Crichton. A lot can happen. As for Freddie, I would have him gone. I think they'll keep him another year.
CJ, sack Freddie or we'll give him 1 more chance?
Yeah, I'd like to.
I can't hear you, bro.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd like a clean slate. I think we just need new ideas, like Paddy G said, go in a new direction. Freddie's had his chances. It's just time for a new coach to come in with new ideas and new mentality. I feel like, I'd prefer a new coach in just because, we should have won most of the series that he's been in, and he just hasn't lived up to the expectations. So.
Yeah, don't even start me on the 2020 series. Don't even start me on that.
We don't talk about that.
What series was that? Wasn't that? I was in COVID. I don't remember much.
Don't even mention it. That was the team where they had Brinko Lee.
AJ Brimson too.
Don't even start me on it. But look, me personally, I think he's got to go. See you, Fred. Yeah. New start needs to happen. I don't know who the fuck will coach, but get someone brand new in there. We need a whole new system. Lost the last 2 series now. If we lose 3 next year and he's the coach, then he has to go. I don't know. I could maybe live with 1 more series, maybe just 1 last chance. If you don't win the series, you're gone. But I'd love a new direction.
The problem with Freddie is at this point is we're all saying he's either going to get sacked or he gets 1 more series. The fact is we've all just admitted he's on borrowed time anyway. Which coaches in the NRL who are on borrowed time survive? We've already seen it this year, Griffin and Holbrook. So as soon as there's question marks around the coach, it's inevitable. So I think we just rip the Band-Aid off now.
When there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But look, I thought New South Wales did very well last night. I was very impressed with Cody Walker. He was obviously player of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how we go next year for game 1 with the selections and whatnot. Plenty of headaches, boys.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Hopefully some good headaches.
Topic number 4, and we're going to go straight to Manly with some news. I think it was yesterday. It was announced Manly sign Matt Lodge immediately. So from what I understand, Lodge can play next week for the Seagulls. Who did Manly play next week?
Cronulla.
So you debut
He's
against
playing
Cronulla.
New South Wales Cup this week.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Matt Lodge to Manly. Paddy Lorenzo. I'd love to hear your opinion on this one. Do you think Lodge to the Seagulls is a good addition?
Paddy, go first.
I've been screaming about a middle forward for pretty much all year now. I think that when it comes to go forward, more so go forward than actual defense, I think we've really lacked that in the middle. Outside of Paseka and Jake, really is more of a defender anyway, rather than a meter eater. I think we've been really light on forward in the forwards. Kepi's had his moments. Sipley's had his moments. If we get the Matt Lodge last year, who people were saying was a smoky to be in the World Cup side, then it's a good signing. But I'm sure Lorenzo will touch on it in a moment, and he knows more than I do about this stuff. But another Isaac Moses player who's on a short-term contract. Manly's heading in a weird direction at the moment. Just to go off topic a little bit, premiership winning coaches and young superstar halves are at a premium in the NRL at the moment. And since Tony Mestrop's come in, we've gotten rid of both of those. So he's made some big decisions, and hopefully stacking on these Isaac Moses agented players, whatever you want to say, on short-term deals is going to come back to bite us. But if it's just on a train and trial, then I think maybe the pros can outweigh the cons.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Lorenzo? Matt Lodge, do you like it?
He's a decent player. I never had an issue with the way he plays. I think he's always been an aggressive, tough prop. So it could be good for our pack. I really do believe that, like Paddy said. I guess the issue with how he's dealt with other clubs is that, he's been in and out of clubs. He hasn't really survived long. That's probably why we've given him a train and trial contract, which is because we're trying to be careful with how long we sign him for and stuff like that. Because for whatever reason, he hasn't left the Broncos, the Warriors, or Roosters really well. So I think that's why the train and trial contracts come in here. But other than his issues off the field, I think on the field he's a helpful forward. And I think if this is the experienced forward we're after, then I think him and Paseka starting front rows next year could really benefit us, I feel like. And, the impact would be good. But, again, another Isaac Moses managed player. And we know what happened last time when he was, managing most players from a club, which was at the Broncos, which, came back to bite them in the arse.
Also at the same hole too.
Yeah, so we've got to be really careful here with what we're doing. I think it might create bad nepotism and a bad smell having this many players being managed by the same manager. So, yeah, I'm worried, but I just hope that the benefit of the doubt comes in.
Yeah, look, I think this is probably the smartest signing so far from Anthony Seibold. I think this is a great pickup for the Seagulls. I really do. I think this is going to be a really, really good signing. I don't know if he'll start. I think he might come off the bench for a few weeks, but eventually I reckon they'll go Paseka and Lodge in the starting front row. Apparently he was already living on the Northern Beaches before he even went to Manly. So
mate, saw him all the time. Close personal friend of mine.
Honestly, I think Anthony Seibold has been under a lot of pressure lately with some of the signings that he's made. Obviously, Luke Brooks and a few others, but I reckon this Matt Lodge one might be the best one he's made yet. I think he's going to go really well at Manly, as long as the the combinations and everything all works out well in the front row. But I like it. I think this is a good pickup, and I'm a little bit jealous because I kind of wanted Matt Lodge at the Cowboys, but I think Manly have got themselves a bargain here. I'm not sure how much he would have been paid to go to Manly, but it wouldn't have been a big contract, I don't think. So
he's on train and trial, so he's getting like just the minimum a week, whatever the average is.
Yeah,
I think this is a great buy for Manly. I really do. I think they've done well here. What do you reckon, CJ? Lodge to the Seagulls.
I kind of like him now. He's left the Roosters. Yeah, It's all right. It's a gamble, in my opinion. I don't think he's the long-term answer, but it's good short-term wise. I think, he's a very aggressive, strong player that can come off the bench or could start at times. I feel like he was always going to go to Manly as well after the Roosters, but the only issue, obviously, is it feels like his discipline at club level sometimes sees him out halfway through a contract, as we've seen last 3-4 clubs he's been at. But on field wise, it will help Manly, both in defence and attack. He's a strong running player, and I do rate Matt Lodge on the field. So, yeah, look, it's an all right signing, and I don't think it's a long-term signing, but it'll do for now.
I think if anyone can get the best out of Lodgy, it would be Jake.
For sure.
I think it'll help you defensively, both Jake and Lodge in the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think he'll do well. Like, I could be wrong. He could be a flop and might not work out, but we've seen how good he is. We know what kind of player he is. He'll do a job. I think he'll be a great buy for the Seagulls. I know the off-field stuff always comes into it, which I don't think is always fair, but there obviously would be a plan in place for all that. So, Seabold, I think Seabold's done well with this one, picking up Lodge. I question some of the other ones that Manly have bought recently, but I really like this one from Matt Lodge, because I can't imagine a lot of clubs would want Lodge, because they all just go back to the off-field crap. So
yeah, it's a risk.
Signing.
It's
a risk.
It's a risk, but I'll take. Yeah.
Topic number 3, and this is pretty much locked in to happen now. Jake Clifford set to join the Cowboys as of next year. Now,
I don't get this.
Jake Clifford was at the Cowboys as a young fellow, as a young kid, and he was halfback after Thurston and after Morgan, so it was very tough for him. And was pretty inconsistent through that time. And then he ended up going down to Newcastle, had a decent stint with the Knights, and then he sort of fell out of the team there, and he's gone over to Hull FC in the Super League. He's done all right. I wouldn't say he's gone over there and had a phenomenal stint. I wouldn't say he's had a fantastic stint in the UK. He's done well enough, but he's going to go back to the Cowboys as of next year. It definitely won't be starting, so maybe he'll be coming off the bench, or maybe he'll be in the reserves. I'm not too sure. But what do you boys think about Jake Clifford going back to the Cows?
Why? It makes no sense. He's already got enough halves. Look, I think Townsend won't be there next year, Nick. I'm going to make that big call now.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
No, look, we'll come back to this in a few months, then we'll see. But I don't understand the signing personally. Where in the bench are you going to play him for? Who? I don't understand. Unless you can tell me, then I could be open to it. But he's not going to play reserve grade, is he? No way. He's come back to the NRL to get it. Well, why would he come back? Well, why wouldn't he go to a club that's going to start him, like the Tigers or something? I know nobody would want to go to the Tigers, but
maybe he just wanted to go home.
He's been at Newcastle. Because if you go to the West Tigers, you're pretty much committing career suicide. Why would you want to go there?
No, true, but like
I reckon it
should have been another club out there.
So Townsend signed that 3-year deal. Next year will be his last year. I think Clifford plays reserve grade. He'll play probably number 6 when Dearden's in Origin camp next year. And then I think, depending on what Townsend's doing, I think maybe we'll see Clifford go to 6 and Dearden go to 7. Because Clifford, he was pretty all right when he was playing with Piercy that year. I think it was in the bubble when they made finals and he was playing 6. So, look, it's not the worst signing in the world. Is it the biggest? Probably not. Not even closest to. I don't see him as number 14. I'd imagine probably reserve grading comes in. Cowboys, they have been very lucky when it comes to injuries. So, maybe this provides a bit more cover, because we haven't really seen Cowboys tested in their halves, and maybe they've got no one. They've got Benny Hampton. I think he's leaving, so maybe he's just basically replacing Benny Hampton's spot.
We've got a few young kids coming through. There's a guy by the name of Jacob Burke and Tom Duffy. They got a big rap on this Tom Duffy fella. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because you think Clifford, does he just automatically go above all them guys that are in the system? It's a weird one. It really is.
If it's just for a year, maybe you just wanted to like go home.
Unless Granville's going to retire and they want to play Clifford as a 14-year-old, maybe come on play with Tommy half. But
interesting.
That wouldn't even be the worst thing ever either.
I think you have announced it on your website tonight. I'm not 100%, but
I don't know. But apparently the whole FC confirmed it.
I'm almost certain it'll be confirmed by Sunday. So,
what do you think, Lorenzo? What do you think of this whole Jake Clifford stuff?
Yeah, I did not expect it actually. Like when I saw the report about him going back to the Cowboys, I wasn't all too sure that was the right pickup by the Cowboys. Because I don't know if he'd go there to play reserve grade. That's the thing. I don't think he'd go there to play reserve grade. I think, you're more of a chance getting the shot over in the Super League and being a regular starter there than I guess the Cowboys with Deed and Townsend locked in as your halves. And you've got Jake Burke, that other young half as well, Tom Duffy. So I don't know. It's an interesting move unless he's like replacing Granville's jersey 14 will be that utility off the bench and could cover a bit of hooker and stuff like that. I'm not too sure, but look, I remember when he was young at the Cowboys, he played pretty good footy. Like he was actually a good young kid coming up through there back in 2018. That was a good year for him as a youngster. But look, whether he is a long-term player there or not, it will remains to be seen. But I don't mind the pickup, but it's a bit weird at the same time.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read a little bit of the article here. I'll take it a bit out of context. So the whole FC coach, Tony Smith, pretty much confirmed that Clifford will leave Hull at the end of the year to go back to the Cowboys. And Tony Smith did say that out of all the possibilities, he knew the Cowboys were the ones that he would like to go to the most. And apparently he just wants to go home, I suppose. That's what it's saying here. And they've made the arrangement, and he's going to head back to the Cowboys. But I'll tell you this. I've been critical of Chad Townsend a lot of this season. He's been very up and down. He's been up the last month, which is good, and it needs to be playing like that. But it's going to put a lot of pressure on Chad Townsend, Jake Clifford. Clifford, for me, he's a 7. He ain't a 6. He's a halfback. I don't think he's a 6. So Dearden and Clifford in the future. I mean, it could be a
guys. Does Patency Dearden? I assumed maybe I'm the only one who's assuming that he's going to end up being a 7. Has Toddy just gone? Maybe Dearden's a 6, and he's going to put at 7.
I don't think you want to put all that load on Tom Dearden. I think you want to give him, you want to free him up, and you want him to have that extra space. Give him the halfback role. He'll have to do a lot more. I think Clifford and Dearden could work. I think it could work well. And plus, you got Drinkwater taking pressure off all of them too. So I mean, it's interesting.
See him back.
But yeah, he's coming to the Cowboys. He might play reserve grade, but I'll tell you what, I reckon he'll be 18th man most weeks. He'll be in the squad.
I'd be fuming if I was him.
Imagine if you guys kept Hammer and played him at center, and he probably wouldn't turn out this good because of Wayne. But imagine Hammer was playing center, and you were going in your future spine was going to be Dearden 7, Drinkwater 6, Hammer fullback.
Oh Jesus!
The opportunity.
What it could have been,
bro. How fun!
Don't worry.
Rugby league's weird, man.
If the Hammers ever have contract again, it will cost us about 1.1 million to get him back.
Oh my! Rugby league's weird.
He could come back in the future.
We all would have gone. Getting rid of Hammer over Hickers sort of makes sense. Not now.
Yeah, it looks so bad now.
Dolphins marquee signing. They've got it.
Yeah, they've got it all right. Topic number 2. Some very not surprising news, I would say. Not surprising. We saw this coming, but I thought maybe at the end of the season. Josh Reynolds retires. Now, on Saturday, we did learn that Josh Reynolds gave up his top 30 spot for Toby Sexton. Toby Sexton to the Dogs. and Reynolds has announced his retirement. Josh Reynolds has had a very good career. Obviously, didn't win a grand final. He was very unlucky not to win a grand final. He should have won one in 2012. Was he in the 2012 grand final? I don't even know who it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
he was. In 2014, they were in that game against South, and then got flogged towards the end. But what do we think of the career of Josh Reynolds? Obviously, I think it's very sad news. But Lorenzo, what's your take on Josh Reynolds' career?
Yeah, look, it's sad because he's been a great servant to the game for a long time now, and obviously, he's done a lot for the Bulldogs across the 2 stints he's been at the club. I mean, the second stint wasn't much because he was only there for this year only, but across his time there, he's been a great servant and a good clubman. So I think his presence will be missed, especially in the rugby league sort of world. But look, he's had a good career. He's done well for what he's done. I know there was a time where at the Tigers didn't quite work out, and same with going to the Super League at Hull FC. That was also, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like Tigers terrible his time there, but it wasn't great either. But I think what he's done for most of his career, playing grand finals, and especially that 2014 Origin series, will be never forgotten. What he did go to, like the part he played in that game was huge.
Game at the first one.
Yeah, he did. So no, look, he's always been a great player, and he's probably one of the unlucky guys not to win a comp, I'd say. But other than that, he's been a terrific player.
What about you, Paddy? What do you think of the career of Josh Reynolds?
Look, I think when he signed that contract with the Bulldogs, as good as the moment was, we always probably thought that was either going to be his last year. So I can't say I was shocked when I heard the news, especially after he gave up his top 30 spot. Better that he came back and did it this way, I guess. The Bulldogs, if anything, it would have been a positive for him. They've lacked a lot of culture and still do. So I'm glad that they brought Josh Reynolds in to try and fix that. He got his moment. I think another trial game or maybe round 2 at Belmore. He got a few starts and a few games in under his belt. And, it's going to be the most attended reserve grade game this weekend when he goes out there for his final game at Belmore. But, he was pretty good for the Bulldogs under Des. Unfortunately, the Tigers thing didn't work out. I didn't really follow him too much in the Super League, but I'd heard that there wasn't great things. We all thought he'd go over there and kill it, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. But as Lorenzo alluded to, he may not have won a comp, but he was part of, I think, maybe the biggest moment in the New South Wales Blues era, the New South Wales Blues club's history, whatever, team's history, whatever you want to say. We always talk about how Clement went out there as a young pup and just gave it to these Queenslanders, these legends. So did Josh Reynolds, and he was a little number 6, and he'll always be remembered for that. And he may not have won a comp, but that is probably one of the coolest things. Like Trent Hodkinson, one of the coolest things any player can say from being a Blue in this day and age.
Without a doubt. Before I get to you, CJ, I need to go to the chat. We've got a $50 super chat from Viking King. Love the donation. Thank you very much, Viking King. Josh Reynolds was the 6th that helped New South Wales and Queensland's 8 in a row, Nick. Yes, Viking King, I remember it like it was yesterday. And thank you very much for the $50 super chat. Viking King, you are the money man, I tell you.
Mickey Bear is shouting rounds on Saturday. Thank you, Viking King.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Nick brought beers on you Saturday.
Yeah, you'll see about that. What about you, CJ? What'd you make of the career of Josh Reynolds?
Oh, look, I'm not going to lie. Growing up, I despised him. I won't lie. He used to get under my skin, as I think he would do to a lot of opposition fans. But, no, he was just doing his role. He's just doing his role. Josh Reynolds, he's one of those players, and I won't say you rarely get these sort of players anymore, but one that actually plays for the badge of their club. He's just so passionate about the Bulldogs. So I'm hoping that he goes into a coaching role sort of things, mentoring the Bulldogs. Look, underrated career. I think he's one of the most underrated halves of the NRL era. That's me, anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Blues moment helped us break that drought, which will forever be remembered in the minds of New South Wales fans. Terrific career. He's a good bloke. I've been able to meet him a few times, and all the best to him. Good luck in retirement, and he deserves his Belmore send off this week.
Yeah, he does.
Good
career.
Look,
I think he's had a lot of good and bad moments of his career. Now, two really funny moments that stand out for me was, if you remember, I think it was right before halftime. He ran over the sideline and he threw the ball in, and it was like a deliberate forward.
Against the Titans, was it?
Against the Titans.
Yeah,
Okay.
2014.
That was funny as fuck. And then I think it was the same year. The Broncos played the Bulldogs up at Suncorp, and Reynolds got sin binned, and he went into the fucking dressing shed, knocks over the fucking chairs, kicks them all over the place.
That was crazy.
That's just as good TV. No, he's had a great career. I reckon his career moment was probably the might have been in 2015. I think it was the Bulldogs and Storm Monday night game at Belmore, and Reynolds was like, all the fans came on and he was on their shoulder for something. I can't remember what it was about, but
was that the game where he was like coming off the bench, returning from injury, and I think that might have been his final year at the Dogs before he was going to the Tigers.
That was his last game.
I might have been. I remember it.
They smashed 2017 though.
They smashed the Storm.
Are you sure it was 2015?
I don't know, but they flogged the Storm. But Josh Reynolds, one of the most passionate Bulldogs players I've ever seen, and I think they're naming one of the stands at Belmore the Josh Reynolds stand.
The hill, the Josh Reynolds hill.
The Josh Reynolds hill, that's right. Well, that's outstanding. So
he's
good on him. What a career!
Respect for giving up his spot for Toby Sexton. That just shows the character he has for the club.
Yeah, not many players would have done that.
No.
Anyway, good luck to Josh Reynolds in retirement. I'm sure he'll be doing something similar to what Josh Jackson.
He's going to be involved with the club, surely. Whether that's an ambassador, coaching staff.
Gus will give him a job or something.
Yeah, surely.
Gus will give him a job. All right, topic number one, and this is something that I want to talk about because I am so sick and tired of the excuses from this team. Topic number one, why have the Sydney Roosters been a disappointment in 2023? Now, I know at the start of every season, there's always the teams that get talked up as the favourites, the contenders, the dark horses. There's always that one team that's considered a huge contender and they flop. Happens every fucking year nearly. The Roosters are definitely that team. They have not lived up to the expectation. We all thought they would be a top 4 team. Some said they wouldn't be. So many good signings, so many good players. The roster's ridiculous. Paddy, why have the Roosters been so disappointing this season?
I don't know. Back-to-back years, I think when Z Tank, shout out to the big fella, did like a review and he ranked all our predictions, like where we got them right and stuff. And Roosters for now 2 years in a row by content creators on all platforms, Roosters have been in the past 2 years the team most people have predicted to win the comp. And outside of a little run they had post-Origin last year, they just haven't fired a single shot. And they've got a ridiculous team, a team that we all think on paper is one of the best of the NRL era. You've got Origin stars, international stars all over the park, premiership winners, captain of Australia there at fullback. And I tell you what, it just shows the power that Nick Politis must have over the media. Trent Robinson, we haven't heard a word about him. Luke Keary is the senior half at the Sydney Roosters. He's the premiership winner. The Roosters since have thrown Kyle Flanagan and now Sam Walker under the bus instead of blaming the senior player, the senior half who's been there for a number of years now. I don't know what's going wrong. This team, anything below top 4 would have been disappointment. I don't know how they're going to make the 8 unless they do a crazy run like they did last year. But I'm a firm believer, and we saw it last year when they went out week 1 against the mighty South Sydney Rabbitohs. But if you don't make the 4, you probably can't win the comp, and there's no chance to make the 4. If they're not there in the prelims, it's a disappointing season. Like on paper, I get Penrith and South have Latrell and Cody Walker, and there's a Brisbane have come from nowhere. But on paper, Sydney Roosters are the best team. And they have been now for 18 months, and not once in that 18-month stretch have they looked like the best team in the competition. So Trent needs to be questioned. Luke Keary needs to be questioned, and this culture needs to be questioned. Love Teddy. Since he's been captain of the Blues and the Roosters, both have seemed to really have fallen off. Look, if they don't make the 8, I think as much as Robertson's been good, it will always be a club legend at the Roosters. There's got to be at least a question mark over his job, because I think you give most coaches this side, they're turning it around within 18 months.
Easy.
You've got Dally M position players everywhere, and they've done nothing this year. Their best win was probably get over the Rabbitohs in round 3. They've done nothing.
Yeah, and they've been disappointing, and I think they looked okay at the start of the year. They weren't too bad. I remember I went to the game where they played Parramatta. They were flogging Para, and then
Ever since they blamed Sam Walker and dropped him, they've gotten 1,000 times worse. And then he got injured, which is no one but Trent Robinson and the Roosters' fault. They've got no one to blame but themselves, because they made that decision to drop Walker to New South Wales Cup, and that's where he got injured. Instead of blaming, I'd be dropping Luke Keary when Sam Walker comes back. I'd be going Walker and Hutchinson, because that is what got them to 5th in 2021. It's Sam Walker's team. It's the Sam Walker era. There's not many great 20-year-old halfbacks, and you've got one. Don't waste him by predicting the number 6 who hasn't fired a shot since Cooper Cronk left, and any 5'8" could look good next to Cooper Cronk.
Yeah, that's true as well. Now, I think the other thing I want to mention about him as well is, I know they got injuries. I understand. Every team's got a lot of injuries. I'm not even going to go there with the injuries. I get it. I know all Roosters fans are going to say, we got 8 or 9 injuries, blah, blah, blah. Every team has fucking injuries, but no one's making the excuses.
Yep.
Their salary cap is ridiculous. The amount of third-party deals that they do and get away with, it blows my mind how they get away with it. But Nick Politis has been around for
I said, it just shows the power this club has, that they're not even getting spoken about. Could you imagine if Manly were doing this with the roster we had, and was like, they'd be bagging Seabold to no end. He'd be copying as much hate as he did at the Broncos.
It'd be like what happened to Anthony Griffin. It'd be constant every day. Yeah, we're going to criticize him here. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, boys. The Roosters have just been, I don't know. Like, you got Teddy, you got the Golden Boot winner in Manu, you've got a fucked up stacked forward pack with Collins, Hargraves, Crichton, Tupanui, the Butcher brothers, Bradley. Who else is in the forward pack? Nathan Brown, for crying out loud, was in the grand final last year for Parramatta. You got so many young forwards coming through. And they get this Lenu next year, Dom Young. I don't know, man. I think it's the halves. That's the main problem. That's what I believe. And last year, Walker and Keary didn't really work, and then it started to work towards the finals. And they've started again, and it's just not working. They're just not working at all. It's just been a disappointing year for the Roosters. Personally, I reckon they're gone. They're not making the 8. They're done.
Good riddance.
What do you think, Stephen? I know you predicted them to have a shit season, but did you think they'd be this bad?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Look, I don't think Brandon Smith's an 80-minute hooker to begin with. I think I said.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him too. What the fuck?
Jeez, yeah.
I think I said that in the season preview. I also said in the season preview that their halves aren't going to work. I said exactly what Paddy said in the season preview. Luke Keary, it just isn't the answer. I know this might be a bit of a bold, a bit harsh, but I think they got too complacent with themselves pre-season. You know, you just see how hyped up they were. I swear to God, they were getting paid. They were paying fucking media to talk them up. But what went wrong with them? I think Paddy literally took the words out of my mouth. I think not enough accountability around the club. They have
lack of heart, lack of culture. Could you imagine if they had like Could you imagine if with their talent they had 17 guys, like 17? I don't know what no team does, and Manly beat up. Imagine they had 17 guys who cared as much as like Jake Trbojevic did. They'd be undefeated.
They should be winning the comp if that's
Me. Imagine
It's just
that.
maybe it's just the money that matters and not the passion for the jersey. You know what I mean?
Look, I mean, everyone wants to
try Mitchell Stardom last year. Who the hell knows?
Jack White took a pay cut to go to South Sydney. I don't think anyone's taking a pay cut to go to the Roosters. I think there's a big culture problem there.
Yep. So, look, I can't give you a genuine explanation. I'm just going to say sucked in, and hopefully, Tata Roosters.
Fuck you,
Lorenzo. What's your view on the Roosters?
Fuck you, Hainsey.
Why are they so poor?
He's going to give it to me.
Yeah, look, my view. Look, I had the Roosters in my top 4, obviously. Like, I thought they were a club that was going to still be dangerous and stuff like that. Because they should have been, on paper, they should have been in reality. Like, their team was full of stars, full of, rep and international players. So, really, they should have been in the top 4. But I guess this topic alludes to why they've been so disappointing this year. And that's, with the team they have, it should be going a lot better than what they're currently doing. And, I think, like it comes down to, I guess, complacency, but it also comes down to, I guess, feeling too comfortable in each other's positions, feeling like there's not enough competition for players to be dropped. Like, I think for years now, guys like Kiri have been very safe in that team. Hargreaves, Manu, like it's a very, solid sticking team. And then on their day, they're all great players, don't get me wrong, but I think, over time, things get a bit stale. Things, do wear off over time. And I think that's what's part of the Roosters' downfall. But another thing that's an issue with the Roosters is that I think Cooper Cronk's their halves coach or backs coach. And he's the one that's trying to change Sam Walker's game up and trying to make him more of a dominant half, more of a what's the right word? More of a controlling half, like more of a straightforward controlling half, where Walker's not that type of player. He's a bit more of a razzle-dazzle, create something out of nowhere type half. He's not a structured half like what Cronk was. And that created a bit of a rift, I felt like. So it's a shame that's happened because Cronk's supposed to be his mentor and supposed to be that guy that would help Sam Walker grow as a player. But no, he just ruined his game and confidence. So Robertson is the part to blame as well. So he's not innocent either. But it's a real disappointing downfall, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of the Roosters. We'll see if I make the 8. If I don't make the 8, Trent Robinson will definitely be under fire. I'm telling you right now. He'll be under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Nah, he won't be. He won't be.
He won't be, but he should be.
He should be, yeah.
He should be.
Imagine Demetrio had this start, like when Bennett left.
Oh, yeah.
It is time.
Here we go.
Here we go. For the Breakdown podcast game show. Last week I was robbed. We're not going to talk about that garbage. The video referee didn't help me last week. But anyway, I'm not playing tonight. It's going to be Lorenzo versus CJ versus Paddy G. And Barbara has emailed the odds to Nick Bet. And,
fucking Barbara.
Barbara. She has changed it up this week. And believe it or not, Lorenzo is no longer the favourite. His form has dropped.
Fair enough. No, fair enough.
DJ Moxley is the favourite at $2.69.
Jeez, I hate being so
Lorenzo at $5. And Paddy G at $10.69.
Bro, that's value.
That's Paddy G magic round form, but
that's value.
That is good value. $10.69. Good value. I can see everyone in the live chat here saying don't give away answers. Basically, if you don't know how the show works, I asked these gentlemen a bunch of questions. First one to get 3 questions right is the winner. If anyone in the live chat reveals the answers to the questions, you'll be banned for 5 minutes. You do it again, you'll be banned. You'll be blocked. Simple.
Paddy G has learned that many times before.
Yes, I'm a dog.
Paddy G has learned that before. That is unfortunately correct.
I'm $10.69.
All right, let's get into it, boys. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Question number 1. Who is jersey number 23 for the Warriors this weekend?
Tom Ali.
Incorrect.
Tamari Martin.
No.
Is it that young Zion May, whatever his name is?
Ronald Volkman.
He's 22.
Oh.
I think Paddy just said what I was going to say.
Ronald Volkman.
Ronald Volkman's number 20.
Oh,
Which number was it?
23.
Rocco
Kalani going?
Both incorrect.
Ali Latua, or whatever his name is, that Ali kid.
Incorrect. Would you like it? Would you like a clue?
Yeah.
Yes, so.
He's a backline player.
Backline player.
Backline. Adam Pompey?
Incorrect.
Doesn't he start? Is he young? Is he young?
Viliama Valia.
Correct, CJ.
Oh,
there
who
we
the
go.
fuck is Billy? I'm in Valia.
He's better than a few of them that they got there. I reckon it should be
Bro,
started.
where's Fanatics? I need to phone a friend.
What is this fucking millionaire hospital or something?
What the fuck is this Billy? I'm in Valia.
You don't
need
know
to phone
Fanatics?
Fanatics.
Friend of the show, Billy. I'm in Valia.
All right. Question number 2. Who is jersey number 22 for the Cowboys this weekend?
Daniela Sadragu?
Incorrect.
Ben Condon.
Wrong.
What?
No.
Jermaine Snell. No, that's wrong.
Wrong.
Riley
Zach
Price.
Labor.
Hey, nice one, Lorenzo. Riley Price is correct.
Riley Price.
Oh,
Riley
yeah.
Price.
Big goat.
Good.
Not many people think about putting the Riley Price because he's playing bloody reserve grade.
I like him though. He's a good player.
He'll come through the system. Don't worry. He'll be in the starting side.
Is it Jake Clifford? No.
All right. Next question. Who is jersey number 9 for the Knights this weekend?
Phoenix Crossland.
Well done, Paddy.
Dude, what the fuck?
1-1-1.
I was trying to trick you all.
I
was waiting for you to say 19.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was going to be like, is it Dylan Lucas?
I nearly said
1-1-1. It's a very good battle. Good
I
battle.
was waiting for you to be like, no, it's fucking some random cunt I've never heard of before that's playing dummy half.
All right. Fellas, in round 2, the Knights did beat the Tigers, but what was the score?
22-14.
What did you say first,
14,
Lorenzo?
12?
I said 12-10.
14,
12-10 was wrong. What did you say, CJ?
I said 22-14.
And what did you say, Paddy?
14-12.
Well done, Paddy. 14-12, correct.
Oh, fuck.
I was going to say
It was the Saifidi penalty goal for the send-off, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it was a close game. It was the one at Leicester.
Because they got set. They lost like Ponga, and then they lost Brayley, and then
That
they
was such a shit.
It was definitely
game.
2 points.
sent off.
12 got
They
robbed.
still lost. And future
2-1.
Manly great Tommy Talau and Jackson Hayes were going to throw down after the match.
That's right, yeah.
Next question. Paddy, do you guess the next one? Roddy wins. At Magic Round, the Dolphins beat the Sharks. What was the score?
40-10.
34-22.
Wrong.
40-16.
Wrong.
38-16.
Wrong.
36-16.
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh, fucking hell.
10-69.
It's 40-10, you muppet.
Good value.
Was it not
Paddy G
40-10?
with the
That's a shock.
36.
Well, the joke's on you, Nick. A Manly person won it. That could be an omen.
Yeah, good omen.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take the L for Paddy to get a win. I'll take that.
There is no omen.
I'll take that.
There is no omen. It's fake news.
No, fucking someone.
It's real.
Never mind. No, he got it wrong. Someone tried to reveal the answer in the chat and they got it wrong.
What did they say?
They said 36-16.
What?
That's
That
anonymous guy.
again.
36-16 is right.
That's
Should we
a
do another
shock.
question?
Oh no.
What? I thought it was 4. Did Dolphins scored 40? Did they not?
No, there was 30.
Anonymous is getting kicked out. Say it, mate. You can't be revealing that crap.
He's done it before too. Did it to me one time. Robbed me.
He could have just robbed Paddy of a win.
It was close.
Unreal. All right, let's get into the round of 40. Let's get into the tips. Tomorrow night. Knights and the Tigers at Newcastle. Who we like in this one, boys?
We'll be there. No.
We're not going to Newcastle.
I think Nathan be more.
In an upset, I've got the Tigers winning by 1-12, I reckon, by 4 points. But first try scorer, though, Greg Marziu.
All right, interesting.
Wow.
Paddy G.
I've gone Newcastle 1-12, but I'm also going big Greggy Mars for first try scorer.
CJ.
Knights by 12, 24-12, first try. Phoenix Crossland.
Throw money on it. Be good odds. I'm going Newcastle 13 plus. Dominic Young will score first. All right. It says Knights will beat Newcastle. Okay. I don't know how that's going to happen. But anyway, Super Saturday, first game at 3 o'clock. The emotional game for the Dogs out of Belmore. Dogs and the Broncos. Who we like in this one?
I think Broncos will be too good, but Dogs will come close, I reckon. So 1-12 game, Broncos win. First try, Tristan Saylor.
All right. Paddy?
I had Broncos 13 plus. I think with the Reynolds thing, they'll lift the Bulldogs, and I reckon they'll might be leading at the start, but I'm going to go Broncos 1-12. First try scorer, I'll go with Cobbo. I think you want to prove a point after missing out on Origin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broncos by 12. First try, Herbie Farnworth.
I'll go Broncos 13 plus. I can't see the Bulldogs competing with them. First try. I did have Corey Oates, but he's been ruled out, so I will change to Cobbo. Cobbo will score first.
Poor Oates.
All right, the big one. The big
boys,
one, fellas.
look
Look at that.
That's
ProEnzo and Paddy versus me. It's on.
Bring it on. I'm so keen.
Saturday night, 5:30, Brookvale Oval. Manly versus Cowboys. Go on, Lorenzo. Give us a prediction.
Yeah, look, as I said on Tuesday and the preview before, I said Manly 1-12. I reckon it'll be a close game. It should be anyway. Should be close. First try, though, I'll go with Ruben Garrick at fullback.
Yeah, okay. Paddy G, need I ask?
Manly 75 plus. No. I think it'll be close. I actually genuinely do believe that we will win. We can win. I think Brookie gets us home. So close one. I'll go Manly 1-12, probably within 2 points. First try scorer. I'm gonna go with Homole Olakawatu. I reckon he's gonna. Tommy Dearden's gonna have to bring his shoulders.
No doubt. CJ.
Oh, I feel like a dickhead being a neutral fan here, but I'm tipping Manly as well. Yes. Manly by 4, first try. Schuster.
Fuck yeah.
You are no longer welcome at my hotel.
Oh, well, I'm not picking you up from there.
Nah. I'm mucking around. Nah, look, I think this will be a great game. Honestly, I think this will be the game of the round. I really do. But obviously, I'm going all the way down there. Obviously, the Cowboys are going to win. Cowboys by 8. First try. Scott Drinkgoat water to score first.
We must restrain the boys at full time.
You know what? We actually have a good record at Brookie. We actually go all right down there.
Yeah, we go.
We actually go all right.
But you have a bad record in Sydney, so like, what record do you want to look at?
True.
Oh, mate, I put a list out the other day on the chat. I'll more than happily be able to bring it out again. Manly have only beat us once at Brookie since like 2014. It's a crazy
We hit different there this year, though. This year's a fortress. We bring that back.
The Cowboys have never beaten Manly when Seabold's been head coach, so
Seabold's a failure.
That's
Wait, is
amazing.
that
Anyway, Cowboys to win, but it should be a good game, boys. Mate, the best team win, eh?
Yeah.
Which will
should
be
good.
Manly because we're the best team.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. We'll see Saturday. Run your mouth until then.
We have history. You don't.
Oh.
Yeah, all right. We'll see. We'll see.
How good.
Saturday night, 7:30 at the SCG. Roosters Storm. I don't know which way to go here. This is going to be interesting. It'll be a very weird game. Lorenzo, who are you going with?
Yeah, I think the Roosters. I think they're due for a win like this. I think it's about time they bounce back. And yeah, their record at the SCG, and I mean playing at the SCG in general, I think that helps them play good footy. So, I mean, it might be a bad tip if this does end up being wrong in the end. But I will go Roosters 1-12 and first try Swelly.
Yeah. What about you, CJ? Obviously, you're going to go with Melbourne, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Melbourne Storm by 12. First try, Justin Olam. I screen recorded what Hainsey said on Tuesday, so I look forward to seeing him that night.
What about you, Paddy? Roosters Storm.
Yeah, fuck Hainsey. Until I see it from the Roosters, I'm not tipping them. I'm tipping Storm. I'll tip Storm 13 plus. First try scorer, I'm gonna go with you know what? Jerome Hughes.
Ooh. I'm going the Roosters. But fuck, I don't know why. Roosters to beat the Storm. I do not know why.
That's some great rugby league analysis that you can expect right here on the Breakdown podcast.
Yeah,
Roosters just. First try, let's go. Fuck, first try, here we go. Fuck it, we'll go Teddy. Tedesco, why not?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Sunday, this game could be the game of the round as well if it lives up to the hype. Sunday, 2:00 in New Zealand, Mount Smart Stadium. Warriors and the Sharks. Who do we like in this one, boys?
Yeah, it should be a good game, like it really should. But I think the Warriors at home have been unstoppable there all year, so I think they'll be the better side, and I'll tip them 1-12. First try, I will go with Nick Klugstad.
Paddy?
I've actually gone Cronulla 1-12. I think they've had this one circled since the comeback last time they played, and boy, the Sharks just need to beat a top 8 side no matter who it is.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go Sharks. I think they won't smash them. It'll be 1-12. It'll be close as if they are going to win. And first try scorer, I'm gonna go Brinton Nakora. Man, that guy is one of the most underrated back rowers in the comp.
Without a doubt. CJ?
Yep, Warriors by 4. First try, Sean Johnson.
I'm going the Warriors as well, but with absolutely no confidence. I hate tipping the Warriors when they're expected to win. So this sort of thing worries me a little bit. But I'll go the Warriors 1-12, and we'll go with Dallin Watene-Zelezniak for first try. He's in form.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how these go.
Sunday, 4:00. I probably won't even see this game. I might see maybe 10 minutes of it. Sunday, 4:00. Dolphins and Panthers. All due respect. Panthers 13 plus. First try. Fucking Stephen Crichton.
Yeah, that should be the case, you'd think. And my first try scorer will be Sania Taruva.
All right. Paddy?
Yeah, I think unfortunately the wagon's fallen off the Dolphins at this point. I'm going to go Penrith 13 plus, and first try scorer. It's not going to happen, but value. I'm going the Fisher Harris. Why not?
Oh,
Wow.
Get something on it.
I'll put something on it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Panthers by 38, 48-10. First try, Jerome Luai.
Just quickly in the chat, Will has said one of the mainstream channels predicted Sharks would miss the 8. Who's stealing my ideas?
I think Fox put it up.
Fox Sports watching my channel. I'm the only content creator on the planet that has
Use
put
their
a pen
intro,
for the
bro.
Sharks.
You stole their
Sharks ain't
intro.
making the 8. I've said this.
I got
Who's
permission
stealing my
to
content? Damn it, I'll sue.
Briggs, mate.
Nah. I'm kidding.
Fucking
Anyway.
rugby.
Sunday night, 6:15 at Combank. I will be at this game with all the lads. This will be interesting. Sunday night, 6:15, Parramatta versus the Gold Coast from Combank. Who are we going in this one, boys? Para or the Gold Coast?
Yeah, sorry about that before. Parramatta should win this game and we'll all be there, so it should be good. But yeah, Parramatta 13 plus, I'd say, and first try Sevo.
Yeah, I like it. Paddy G, Para or the GC?
I'm going the Para to smash the GC. Para 13 plus. And first try scorer, I'm going to go Bailey Simonson. I think he's been in great form.
Yeah. What about you, Moxley?
Let's address the elephant in the room at the moment. Obviously, Isaac Lumumbi being dropped has probably hurt Parramatta's chances.
Just great. You know what? Titans 75 plus.
Yeah, no Lumi.
Yeah, look, I think Titans probably win, but I'm going to tip Para by 4. 26-22. Just Lumi not being there hurts their chances. First try scorer, Guffo. They'll just get over the line.
They're ignoring a future immortal. Like, what are they doing?
It's disgraceful.
I'm going Para, 13 plus, but this game will have over 70 points. This game will have no defense. It'll be very.
The Gold Coast Titans are playing.
Like
there is
Magic
no defense.
Mate, this game could be like a 46-30 or something.
Imagine that game is actually good.
Yeah, they can be. Parramatta will win, 13 plus for me. And first try scorer, I'm going bold. I'm going Junior Paulo first try.
The wrecking ball, eh? Might as well put that in Moldy.
Yeah, I don't know what he'd be paying, about 40-1, so might have to chuck something on that. But yeah, Junior Paulo. But anyway, that wraps up the podcast, fellas. Been a great show. And thank you to Penny G for coming on the podcast tonight.
Yep.
How do you just
no words needed. Just read.
Manly 13 plus year of the
I love that, John. I need to get one soon, I think.
Do you know have one?
Tomorrow, eh?
No, not yet, sadly.
I wouldn't waste your money on dog shit like that. No.
Oh, well, I mean, it's better than what Cowboys have produced. We're rare.
When was your last premiership?
Well, when was
yours?
Yours? Long time soon.
I'm still waiting for your second premiership.
We were involved in the best grand final ever.
Until what last?
2016 was Sharks, wasn't it?
No. The drug
2008.
chase, no.
2008 grand final. Best of all
Here
time.
he goes. The old 2008 one.
Well, boys.
All right. All seriousness, boys, thanks for coming on the potty as always. Good show. And I'll see you on the weekend.
See you
Subscribe, like, comment.
Yes, and I'll see some of you tomorrow, and I'll see the rest of you on Saturday. But yes, like, subscribe, comment, do all that good shit, and see you on the weekend, boys.
Love you, boys.
I love you all. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
Hopefully,
boys.
my computer wants to end the stream.
Manly 13 plus. Let's go.
Manly 75 plus.
Cowboys 69 plus.